Hello guys, welcome back to channel. Today we will discuss about Memento design pattern. So Memento design pattern is a behavioral design pattern that lets you restore the previous version or previous state without showing the implementation. Okay, so let's take an example, and it will be the very quick example, and I'm sure you will understand just by looking at the example itself. Memento. In this Memento, we will have let's take a state that is state. Inside this state, I think we can have a string, one variable that is state itself, and this state will have two function. First is to add actually, and it will take nothing but the state itself, and this is what a state. Okay, another function will be get actually. But I'm thinking something different. Why we are implementing here itself? Let's take one thing. I mean, we can have this as virtual class, and another function will be implementing this class. Can we take this as this one? Okay, but let it be. So let's try to have a get string. I mean get function, which will return state itself. Cool. Everything is right. Instead of function, I can have this constructor state, and it will take string and this dot it is equal to state. Okay, okay. Oh, what I'm done. Okay. So there is correct. Now we can have one more class which will be caretaker, which will be taking care of this state function class. Now this caretaker will have one vector which will be storing a state, my state class. Okay, okay. And to store this state, store states in this vector, I need to have a function which will be just a add, and it will take nothing but a state class argument. That's it. And let's just post that, and okay, that's fine. We have add, and now if you want to show that how we can show it, let's have another function which will be returning the state, and let's name it as function as a get, and it will return. Let's take argument a index. Okay, okay, and inside which we can return. Okay, that's good. Now we can have another class. that will be, let's name it as originator. And I'm working with caretaker and originator. I'm not looking at the state. So the definition of the memento is that we do not need to show implementation, and implementation is even in the state, and I'm not going to show implementation to the client. Okay, so let's have this originator. Now this originator will try to play around with state. So first thing which we can have is state itself. And since we need to set this state, I can have one function that will just it will just stay setting this state. Okay, this dot state. Okay. Okay, so we need to get it also, right? So let's have this string get just basic functionality, nothing much. Okay. Now we are setting, we are getting the functions. But how we can how we can play around with the state. So for that, I need to store my state in this state. So let's store it. So how we can store it? Um, we can store it by returning state and set state, inside which it will take an argument which is the empty basically, and I need to store. So how we can store new state, and I'm just making object, right? So as I can see, the object will have a state. So I need to provide a state, right? So how we can provide? We have just provided it right here. Let's first include. Okay. Another is, let's have this slash. We are setting our state in the state itself, originator state in the state. Now we can get also, right? So to get I or we can have one more thing. Um, okay, yeah, we can get it from the state. I mean, we can copy this state to our originator state. So how we can get this? Let's have get function, and inside this, I can just have a state and uh, what I should do now. How I can get this state. So there is one get function, right? And I need to call state get, right? So how I can do this? So in order to do this, I can have an argument state state and state dot get. That's good. What is this? Inaccessible. Okay, fine. What is this again? Okay. Okay. So if until now everything is right, now I can have Okay. So now we can have one more last class. I mean, I can have one client class. So let's make a main include. I'm including caretaker. I'm including originator. I'm not including a state. I don't want to show implementation. That's why. Let's include caretaker first, I guess. Let me make it. Let's see. Now this caretaker is good. Also, we can have a originator object, right? So let's have originator. Oh, okay, how I can set my state. So for setting the state, I can use caretaker, I guess. Yeah, we can have this add functionality, right? So let's add it. C dot add, and I'll just add what? I'll just add A, B, C. That's cool. No, no, the argument is state. So I can add with the help of, I can set basically with the help of originator itself. So I can take originator, not add. Uh, okay, not add, it is set. So fine. Since I get this set, I need to set this state to in my state. I can do this with the help of originator itself, obviously. So let's do one thing. I can do one thing. I can take c dot add, which will add my state inside this vector, right? I need to add this. And how I can add this? I can just return. I can get set a state here. I can use this as a state. So let's do this o dot set a state, and I can set a state by what? I can set a state by using set a state. Yeah, by using get function here. I hope so. So first thing what I have done, I have used uh, originator and set this value. And now what I'm doing, I'm using uh, o dot set state. That means it will return my state functionality, and this state I'm passing it to here, and it will store my state in this vector. So in this way, I'm not showing any implementation of my state class, but I can use the state class in my way, and I can even restore it back without showing implementation. So that's cool.